Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Laymen Daily Show, which has not been daily. I have been very sick. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I've been quite sick actually last week or so. And this may be the last show I do because I go to Europe in early July. So I need a few days to get things sorted and whatever, and I've got work to do and stuff. So this may be the last one before I go away for about 6 weeks. God, I saw Indiana Jones last night. Interesting. Now, I heard the reviews weren't great. Okay, I wasn't expecting it to be that good. But I saw it, and I have some things to say. Now, I've seen all the Indiana Joneses. Big fan of Indiana Jones, right? I think for me, it's one of Harrison Ford's better characters. For me, it kind of is as iconic as Han Solo, of course, right? But for me, that feels almost more Harrison than Han Solo for me. But we'll get into it. There's also some reviews, news, and discussions. There's also the quiz game. So we're going to have a really big show. Okay, guys? So all this and more after the drop. Right. Second narrator says, yeah, Skill Up mentioned he's going on vacation. Yes, we're both going on vacation. I gotta be with him for a few weeks. Ugh. Yes, the boat is a metaphor for gaming. Yes. That'll be great. Nice to get away with the fam. It'll be a lovely time. Now, I'm not going to be showing you any trailer footage today because it's not about being demonetized. Like, it doesn't really matter. It's more that this just gets blocked in every country. So today we have Lego. We got Lego Indiana Jones, right? So look, where do I start? Dial of Destiny. We knew it was not going to probably be that good. Like, we knew there was going to be some issues there. I guess the main thing here for me was, is this going to recapture the magic, the energy of the original Indiana Joneses? That's what I was really looking for, right? Because Crystal Skull. Okay, so as we know, there's Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, which is like fucking god level. Then we took a long hiatus. Then it came back with Crystal Skull. And that was disappointing, to say the least, right? It just felt like the energy and the magic was lost. It felt like it needed just to go out on a high with that trilogy, right? But they said, hey, you know what? We've got another one in us. This is Harrison Ford's last Indiana Jones. Let's see what it's like. So I guess high-level thoughts before I even start. It doesn't capture that at all. It doesn't feel anywhere near as good as Last Crusade or Temple of Doom. And I think the best one is, of course, Crusades, then Temple of Doom, then Lost Ark, right? For me. It doesn't capture that energy at all for me, right? I think there's something to be said about, like going out when the song has ended, right? The song has ended for Indiana Jones. The song ended for Star Wars, in my opinion. The song ended also for like Rush Hour. Now they're making another one also, but who knows what that's going to be like. But like the song kind of ended, Back to the Future. The song kind of ended. It ended poorly for the last one out of the three, right? The third one was nowhere near as strong as number 2 and number 1. But luckily they just let that go after that, right? And we didn't see reboots. I know they've talked about reboots, but we haven't seen anything like that. It's just been left alone, right? Lord of the Rings, right? Now, I know that's based on a book, and there's a lot of content there that they can revisit, and they're trying to do that. But this is a perfect example of just like, the song's over. Let it go, The original trilogy was some of the best cinema we've seen and some of the best kind of fantasy cinema. So good, in fact, it was like the first to ever win Oscars and awards and stuff like that, especially for Return of the King. It actually ended up taking most of the awards that season. Then The Hobbit happened, and The Hobbit was just like, ugh. And now they're doing this whole like show, which everyone's just like, whoa, please, for the love of God, stop. No one wants to watch this shit anymore, So there's something to be said about that. And I just feel like this is exactly the same for Indiana Jones. Like 1, 2, and 3 were fantastic. It also encapsulated like Harrison Ford at this moment where he was like fit for the role. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just fit for the role. And this feels like it doesn't actually. He's no longer fit for the role, I think, and I'll get into that more. Now, the main cast, of course, was Harrison Ford, Mads Mikkelsen, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and Ethan Isidore playing Teddy. Right now, playing Teddy. So there's similar tropes here, right? So the idea of like short round, like Teddy is like the short round. And there's previous characters that we've seen throughout the franchise make a reappearance, and that's great. It's kind of like fanfare almost. But all in all, like that is not enough to save this. Now, I don't want to talk too much about spoilers, but towards the end, I'm going to go into a little bit of spoiler territory. But the entire premise, right, is there's this dial of destiny that can like affect time, or you can do something with time. And this is like Indy's long lost treasure that he never found, so he needs to like find it before he finishes and whatever, right? And then it goes on for 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours trying to like get this thing, and of course he's fighting the Nazis and all that kind of stuff. And Harrison Ford, first and foremost, in terms of performance, does a great job for the age he is. Just physically and that kind of he tries his best, I think Mads does a fantastic job as a Nazi and a fantastic job as the villain. That's not a thing I'd ever say. I think he did a fantastic job as a Nazi. I love that guy. But he does a good job, and the cast in general, that they all did a fantastic performance, and that does carry the movie somewhat. It carries the movie somewhat. And again, it does that similar like mechanics and themes, and like has the MacGuffin, like we got to get this thing so we can kind of achieve this goal and whatever. But like the story itself, it's just, you thought that the story was ridiculous for Crystal Skull. This just gets so utterly ridiculous. I mean, it just gets so utterly ridiculous. Think about Indiana Jones. Is it's kind of rooted in mythology mixed with reality, mixed with urban legend. It's very much based in the treasures of the past. And Crystal Skull massively missed the mark when it tried to incorporate like extraterrestrial, otherworldly architecture, otherworldly technology. Like it just was like, what are you doing? This is not what Indiana Jones's DNA is, It's very much about like an adventure to find relics of the past. It was never about like understanding our place in the universe or like understanding if there's life on other planets. Same here with Dial of Destiny. It's like a little bit of a skip there on the having problems there. Same with Dial of Destiny, right? Never did Indiana Jones feel like we need to ask questions about like going back in time and shit, right? Like it's like, what? With any trilogy that finishes, it always kind of ups the ante. And what I think Indiana Jones tried to do in this latest movie was up the ante again, but in the wrong ways. It went through this whole like, how can we like bend time and space? How can we change history? Like this whole Indiana Jones thing is based on the pursuit of history. So I think they thought, well, why don't we get amongst history? And it's like, what? By the end of the movie, which again is 2.5 hours, I was sitting there going, Jesus Christ, this is the most ridiculous, absurd avenue that they could have gone down. And you can't buy it. You just can't buy it, So it's very hard to look at this and think that this makes any sense and we can buy this as an audience that used to just really love Indiana Jones, his ability to like, chase the sacred items of humanity's past. Like that's kind of what Indiana Jones kind of did, But part of that is Indiana Jones up to the task? He's like 80 or something now, right? Now, I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just being honest about a character like Indiana Jones, he's kind of like, how do I say it? He's kind of like a intellectual action hero that has like bravado and pizzazz and a lot of sex appeal. There's something very like, whatever. I don't know if this is going to sound like something very attractive about Indiana Jones. And part of that is his physical capabilities, his ability to, like Temple of Doom, when he's on that freaking massive bridge and his arms around, he's got the big sword and he's ready to fight, or him in that white suit, in that white suit. I think it was Raiders of the Lost Ark. Or no, I think it was Last Crusade. He was in that white suit and he's looking like almost like Bond, like he's looking fantastic. He's looking like he's ready to kill and ready to charm. And I think that's essential for this character. And as Harrison Ford has aged, which is fine, right? You can't capture that same energy of Indiana Jones. So you feel like Indiana Jones just ends up being the relic. It's like, I heard someone say that Indiana Jones, this whole movie, is really just trying to find the toilet. Which is funny, but you could just see so many times that there was like body doubles doing the action scenes, and when he was like running, it's like, that's not you, okay? That is not you, Harrison. This is nonsense. It's kind of like The Irishman when they did a lot of that CGI going back in time, and Robert De Niro was like fighting someone on the street, and you could see that it was just kind of like CGI on his face, and he couldn't physically move like a 40-year-old or a 45-year-old or a 50-year-old. Like he couldn't move like that, And Indiana Jones is the same, where like it's just missing that that energy factor that is, I think, essential. It's like, could James Bond, an 80-year-old James Bond, be as effective as selling the audience? I think it would have a better chance, but it would still be hard. It would still be really hard. It's like Rambo or Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to do Commando now, or Predator or whatever, right? Like you're just like, okay, like I want to buy this, but like you're old now. It's a different time in your life that you're going to be doing different styles of acting. I'm not saying that he shouldn't act anymore. I'm just saying that I don't think that a blockbuster AAA, action-packed film is right for Harrison Ford anymore. And it's hard to buy it. And on top of that, they try and actually get around that by doing a hell of a lot of CGI in this film. Like some of the most deep fakes that I've seen in a movie ever. Like the first 20 minutes, I feel like just spent its time, like existing in the past, existing in young Indiana. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, cool. And then you're watching it and you're like, it's so easily seen to be deep fake. It's so easily seen to be CGI. So it's hard to buy. But as that segment goes along in the first 20 minutes, I will say that I started just to believe it more. I started just to kind of settle into the scene. And a lot of times I would look at it and I'm like, wow, that looks real. And then other times when it was a close up, I'm like, wow, I'm not buying this. And I don't know if it's just like the people that watch this show, like we play a lot of games, we watch a lot of CGI, like we have a good eye for it. And we watch a lot of like AI stuff, especially me. Like I have a general interest in AI. So when I'm looking at this stuff, I'm like, I'm not buying it fully, But it's interesting that they spent so much time in young Indy's life, because I think they were trying to compensate for Harrison Ford's age. I think they were really trying to give you as much as the original energy and the original like intellectual He-Man almost, or intellectual action hero that Indiana was. And I think that was them directly sending a message, trying to convey to an audience, that this film could have the energy it needed to sell what Indiana Jones is. But it fell short because, again, it's 20 minutes and then later in the film there's one other scene where he's young again and then we're back to him looking like he needs a cane, being honest, right? So in that regard, the CGI, it really did struggle. you know. But in terms of the other thing is the movie length, 2.5 hours. It felt way too long. Okay, this is another thing. Like, especially with The Last Crusade, it was filled with heart. Like, you know, with his father and Junior, you know, that whole relationship between the two of them. It was just perfectly filled with action, but real stakes on the line, and also really feeling like you're getting to know Indy's world and Indy's family. You know, like there was a lot of heart in that, and it was a great way to finish it. And I feel like what they did here is they tried to like shoehorn a goddaughter into this. You know, like, okay, like fair enough. Like, so there's like that emotional connection in that. There's some stakes there. But again, it doesn't really have the heart that it needs, to be honest. It doesn't really feel like it actually captured that original feeling of like, wow, I really feel like I'm invested in this. And yes, you can expect in this film to understand more about the lore of Indiana, his family, what's happened in the few years, all that kind of stuff. And this also takes place around the moon landing, right? So you can expect certain things to be connected to that, or certain events are going to unfold around that. Like, you know, a big, as you saw in the trailer, like that big parade and stuff, that's very much connected to like the moon landing and whatever. But yeah, so look, should there be another one of these? I think you know my answer. No. Something to be said to say, you know what, the party's over, Indiana's done, and it really just needs to end. The thing is, if we look back at the last 40 years or whatever, since the last one, or 30 years, if we had just had The Last Crusade, everyone would be so happy. People love to say, oh my God, I really want to see another Indiana. Oh my God, Indiana Jones is coming out number 4, Crystal Skull, yeah. But then it comes out and everyone's like, oh shit, okay, you know what, we didn't need that. Really should just have finished at The Last Crusade. That should have been The Last Crusade. There it is. The Last Crusade. I love the title. That's it. No more. You know? And if I was to rank the films, right now, as I said before, my favorite, of course, is Last Crusade, Temple of Doom, and then Raiders of the Lost Ark. If I was to, I would say that Crystal Skull is probably still worse than this. I would say that this is still worse. Yeah, this is probably the worst Indiana Jones movie that we've seen, personally. I think this is the worst Indiana Jones movie we've seen. I'm not saying you shouldn't see it. I think you should, you know, go out with a bang in terms of like, go and see it in a cinema. Like, it's the last Indiana Jones. Like, experience it, enjoy it if you can, you know. But certainly don't expect it to be any good, to be honest. That's kind of my thoughts. Has anyone seen it yet? It only came out, I think, yesterday, right? Well, it came out in Australia here on Wednesday night. It usually comes out on Thursdays. It has to be more than 30 years, David said. Yeah, I think it's been more than 30 years. Yeah. Kathleen Kennedy is like Margaret Thatcher, the Iron Lady. Look, I think, well, you know, and Kathleen Kennedy has been part of, I think it was LucasArts or Disney for like decades, man, before she even kind of rose to that kind of seat that she's in now. You know, I really think that's a good point with Kathleen Kennedy. I think it's really time for them to really sit back and say, oh, A, do we need a drastic new direction? And B, does Kathleen Kennedy now, after doing her job for so many years, I'm not here to like knock Kathleen Kennedy. I'm really here just to say like, maybe it's time for someone to kind of change it up here. Because Disney is leaning heavily on the last 10, if not the last 20 years, on a lot of their previous, well, last 10 years, I would say, last previous popular IP, with bringing out live action kind of renditions of it, or, you know, doing Star Wars again. And Star Wars 7, 8, and 9, I'm sorry, are easily the weakest. They're just, there's no two ways about it. You know, the best we ever had was Empire Strikes Back. Return of the Jedi was also fantastic. And as we've gone on, we've seen that the original prequels weren't that bad. They may have not landed like we wanted. Why is there all these? Let's just go back to. We're just watching the credits right now. I mean, they weren't that bad. They didn't capture the original magic, but they were ambitious in the way that they were trying to at least, build on the world in such a massive way, So I actually don't think that the original Star Wars are that bad. But my point is, with Indiana Jones and them trying to do like the Solo movie, the Star Wars movies, the live action renditions of I know Kathleen Kennedy is like Lucas, but I'm talking like Disney in general. But also like the live action stuff that they've tried to do, and they just keep leaning on previous successful IP and trying to make it a thing again. It's over, folks. Like, just new shit, man. Just new stuff. Make sure I pressed all the buttons off, because every time. No, I knew it. I knew it. Do the drop again. All right. How's everyone in the chat? But they're my thoughts, guys. Look, I think go and see it. Don't expect it to be great. Doesn't capture the original magic. Fine in the way that it wanted to be, it kind of wanted to go out again with another bang. But I'm really glad to see that it's probably just over now, and that's okay. The only other person I would ever love to see play Indiana Jones in some kind of multiverse is Chris Pratt. I think he could do a really good job. I know people have said that, and like that's like a, it's like a meme at this point. But like, I think Harrison Ford needs to retire from Indiana Jones. If there's anything in the future that they bring out, I'd be open to that. If it can recapture that same magic, energy, pizzazz, intellectual, like action hero thing, I'd be open to that. Oh my God, no. Freaking buttons, man. What else is happening in the world of gaming? So as you guys know, there's been a lot of the FTC with the Microsoft thing. It's been going on a lot. Now, I just want to do a quick spitfire of what's been going on. Xbox explored acquiring Hollow Knight, No Man's Sky, Rust, and more. That's massive, especially Hollow Knight with Team Cherry. Like, that would have been huge to see, especially with Silksong on the way. That would have been a fantastic thing. Well, not a fantastic thing, but like a big headline. Would have been a big headline. But there's not the only thing that they wanted to acquire. Where is it? They also wanted to acquire Sega, Bungie again, and others to fill content gaps. They were looking to go on a massive spending spree. And here's the thing, right? If this thing doesn't go through, this whole FTC thing stops the merger, I would expect that Xbox is going to go on a huge spending spree on smaller companies, right? It was also revealed that Ninja Theory was only purchased for $117 million, which doesn't sound that much, right? Actually, as this person says here, it's a real steal if you ask me. I think that's they're working on Hellblade. Like, that seems to be one of the more exciting titles that people are excited for, and there's a lot of time and dedicated space to like Xbox showcases for this. I think that this is that's quite the cheap price. Also, Xbox has no intention of using Sony's exclusivity tactics, does not plan to pay third-party publishers to skip PlayStation if the Activision merger goes through. Well, we have seen in the past when we did, when Xbox 360 was one of the more dominant platforms, there was definitely exclusive content with like Call of Duty and stuff like that. Now, it wasn't the entire game, but there was certain bundles and content that dropped on Xbox 360 first, right? So when Xbox was in the driver's seat and the stronger, the stronger player at that moment, we can definitely see that Xbox was doing certain things, but that is over a decade ago, right? So, look, things change, philosophies change, and if they're not going to be doing that moving forward, that's certainly one thing. A list of all the studios that Xbox was considering buying. This is the real trend right now with the FTC thing. It's more about like, how many goddamn studios is Xbox looking to purchase, right? Again, if they don't purchase Activision Blizzard King, I would be very surprised if there wasn't 5 to 10 acquisitions of smaller companies, right, with smaller IP. Because as I've said before, the name of the game in the next 10 years is not a console war. It is content. It is just content on the streaming platforms, subscription-based content streamed at 4K, like 1 millisecond latency, like you're not even going to feel it. Most people are going to be able to play on their phones or on a tablet or on their 65-inch TV or even on their computer with no dedicated hardware needed. It's going to cost consumers 1/10, 1/20th of what they're paying now. So you can't expect in the future that there's not going to be a seismic shift in gaming leaning towards cloud streaming when the consumer is going to have, more money in their pocket. The one thing that moves consumers more than anything, it seems, is how much it's going to cost them to engage in the latest and greatest, So I think that cloud is going to be huge. And, purchasing a console in 10 years, pretty cold. Purchasing a console in 10 years is going to be, it's going to be less, man. I'd be very surprised to see 3 new generations after this, maybe 2, definitely 1 more generation. Be very surprised to see 2 or 3, personally. Also, this is huge, actually. Bethesda was going to make Starfield a PlayStation exclusive, and when Microsoft learned of that, Phil Spencer bought Bethesda. Holy shit, man. That's huge, right? So they were looking to make Starfield exclusive, and Xbox just felt like, holy shit, we're in a corner here. We have to do this, right? We have to do this. Now, I'm not saying that I agree with these major acquisitions, but again, as I've said in the past, it's probably the lesser of 2 evils. We either have a landscape where PlayStation continues to dominate and is accelerating how much they're dominating, or we have a world where Xbox has some ability to keep PlayStation on their toes. The quality for the consumer is better. The pricing will be better for the consumer. The list and suite of games that come out would be better. So all those things are really important in keeping a competition. Sony and Nintendo don't compete really. They don't really. They have completely different ecosystems, fan bases. Nintendo is kind of in a league of its own in terms of it just can exist regardless of what kind of battle lines are drawn, where Xbox and PlayStation are very much more toe-to-toe, What else? Oh, yes, Bobby Kotick forced Xbox to give Activision a higher revenue share to keep COD on Xbox Series X. That's when I think PlayStation was exploring exclusivity, and Xbox just had to bend, just had to fold. Call of Duty feels like it's just like the Mac Daddy of the console wars. Fortnite is, it's like whatever. It's like free to play. It's like no one gives a shit, right? Or the consoles don't really care. But Call of Duty, man, that is honestly the Mac Daddy of this whole console war thing. And then as we've seen previously with this whole FTC thing, one moment where there's arguments to suggest that it's not so much about Call of Duty, it's about cloud, especially with the UK's concerns. It was more about cloud streaming, more so than Call of Duty. And now it feels like this entire FTC thing is back to content exclusives and Call of Duty. Chris says they could compete, they gave up and decided just to buy content. Well, I think that they definitely tried to compete. They tried to continue the console life cycle and meet PlayStation at the same times of releasing their new console. I think they tried to release first-party exclusives and AAA exclusives, but it just fell short constantly. And some of their major IP, like God of War for some time prior to 2018. Like Gears of War, like Gears of War prior to Gears 5 in 2019, something like that. And like Halo with Halo Master Chief Collection, Halo 4, Halo 5 Guardians, wasn't it? I think it was Guardians. That was not great, a lot of their major IP had really fallen off. And people just didn't feel like the previous generation, the Xbox One, was worth purchasing. And quite frankly, it wasn't. And if I look at my Xbox Series X, man, I'm not really playing it. I haven't turned it on in a year. Truly. I haven't turned it on in a year, man. No, we've already got that one. Yeah, well, Phil Spencer says, every time we ship a game on PlayStation, Sony captures 30% of the revenue that we do on their platform, and then they use that money among other revenue that they have to do things to reduce Xbox's survival on the market. Here's the thing, man. Xbox is probably going to be doing their own way to compete against PlayStation. They're making it sound like Xbox is the little guy. Microsoft is worth how much again? I covered this in the last one. What was it? 12 trillion or something? Oh, I can't even remember what it was. And I think PlayStation's was like 5% of the same amount of market cap. You know, Xbox and Microsoft aren't the little guys, right? They have a lot of cash, a lot of ability to compete. And I don't think it's really fair to Phil Spencer to make it sound like Xbox is the little guy. In terms of console selling and overall space, PlayStation is dominating, absolutely. But I think Microsoft and Xbox has a lot at its disposal to do all sorts of things to actually compete with PlayStation. And then what they've done, of course, is trying to buy as much content as possible. Now, I'm not a huge fan of that, right? We're not a huge fan of that, but that is ultimately what they're trying to do. In other news, I'm going to put some music behind. Ooh, can you hear the music? Oh, yeah. Nice. Xbox also admits that it lost the console war. Now that we kind of covered that prior because, you know, Phil Spencer had also alluded to that. And look, they're definitely not trying to be in the console space anymore, right? I mean, yes, they want to be in the console space, but their main focus is cloud, content, exclusives to a certain extent, and an overall package across multiple ecosystems. So they're not going to win the console war. We know that. Doesn't matter if they have, as Phil Spencer said, even if they had one massive, you know, exclusive, it's not going to move the needle, you know. Sat nav, minimal differences get a PC. Well, this is the thing. If you're talking about Xbox, like you can buy a PC and play everything that they have to offer pretty much just on the PC. Like you can pretty much on day one, all their exclusives, you have pretty much everything that you would want on the Xbox, you can play on the PC, you know. In other news, what the hell is this? Guys, UFC President Dana White spoke to Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, and this would be the biggest fight in the history of the world. Pay-per-view would cost $100 and all proceeds would go to charity. Legit question. Who do you think is going to win here? Is this legit? Is this actually legit? I mean, is this actually going to work? Nicholas says Starfield is not exclusive. Yes, it is, actually. Yeah. What do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean, Nicholas. Yeah, it's exclusive. If you mean it's also on PC, is that what you mean? It's also on PC. Yes. But choose your fighter, folks. £180, £150 for the Zuck. 245 billion, 100 billion. I mean, look at this guy. Kids, 10 plus. combat style, hostile takeover. I like that. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Special move. Hits opponent with autonomous steps. Tesla traps opponent in the empty metaverse. Now, if this does happen, this is going to be huge, right? I think that Elon would actually get creamed by... That doesn't sound right. Get beaten by the Zuck. I feel like the Zuck's been training for a while. Like, I reckon he's actually got a lot of... He could beat Elon, right? He could beat Elon. I would absolutely watch that. Doesn't matter what anyone says. I don't care how uncool it is. I'm absolutely going to watch that, right? In other news, it is like... Well, it's confirmed that it's going to be an exclusive, guys, on... it's going to be an exclusive... Indiana Jones is going to be exclusive on Xbox. Right. Now, that's no surprise. We have seen very little on this, by the way. Like, very little. We saw that, 10-second snippet of, like, the whip and the hat. And that's all we've seen. So, I don't know what they're going to be doing with this. But it is going to be an Xbox exclusive. That's a shame, but that's just kind of the rules of the game with Xbox right now. Especially when they've come out recently and been like, oh, no, we're not going to, we're not looking to make things exclusive. And then everything from Bethesda after Ghostwire and what was the other one that they did? That was not exclusive. And then, everything after that, Redfall, Starfield, Elder Scrolls probably, Indiana Jones, all the Bethesda titles have become exclusive. So we can expect that that similar thing is going to happen with a lot of Activision games, right? I expect that to happen with a lot of Activision games. Absolutely. Now, this is kind of cool. All right, so you can do an Oreo Super Mario thing. Let's watch this together because why not? It's Oreos. We love Oreos. And they're vegan, apparently. How the hell do you make Oreos vegan? They taste so creamy. I don't get it. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I haven't even watched this yet. Is this just this? I thought it was going to be cooler than this. I mean, it's kind of cool, but like, not as cool as I wanted. Are we seeing more? Let's see. Okay, it's the same shit. Anyway, yeah, you can buy some Oreos that have the Bowser and stuff on them. That's kind of cool. So there it is here. Let me just press on it. That's kind of cool, right? There's going to be some collectors out there that buy this. But I mean, what is the expiry date on Oreos? Legit. I don't even know what that is. What, 3 years or something? 5 years? Max? I mean, it's vegan. There's no cream. There's no milk. It won't age like milk. That's what I'm trying to say, folks. So we decided to, I'll give that a go. It's just going to be the same taste, but fuck it, I'll give it a go. I'll eat it and be like, oh god, this tastes so different. This is so nice. Raiden says, globalist scumbag versus another globalist scumbag. Man, how AI gonna win? Me for not watching it. I'm definitely watching it. Absolutely. We got to give it a go. Come on, we got to at least look at the highlights, right? You're telling me you wouldn't look at the quick highlights or the KO moment? Come on, we got to do it. Got to do it. Returnal slaps, especially playing with a homie in multiplayer. Me and Thick Boy played a lot of Returnal together. Returnal was a really great exclusive. I thought that was actually one of their better games. Absolutely. That was like the first game that launched. Was that one? Okay, that was a launch title on PlayStation 5, if I remember correctly. Or close to. What else? Man, okay. In other news, Mr. Beast, you guys probably know, Mr. Beast was invited to go on this Ocean Gate thing. And apparently they found wreckage today. They found wreckage of it and they've brought it up. Now, I don't know how true that is, but apparently that they found some wreckage and there's maybe human remains in there. So I watched so many videos, which a lot of people did, that like the implosion moment would have just been like as hot as the sun and they would have just like atomized everybody. But maybe there are human remains, right? I don't know. But man, Mr. Beast, that would have been, I mean, the story was big enough, but I mean, look, there's billionaires and stuff on there, but imagine if Mr. Beast was on there. It would have been crazy. It would honestly been crazy. You know what else is crazy? Netflix has no chill. They're bringing Titanic back this week or next week. Come on, Titanic. I mean, come on, Netflix. That's not great. You know, it's not great. And who are these pieces of shit doing this? People are evil, man. People are evil. In other news, you know who else is evil? Frickin' GameStop. This can't be real. Is this real? Titan deals. I mean, I'm just hoping that this is AI. And this is like Photoshop. This can't be real. Oh my God. Man, if you're in GameStop and you see this, please let me know. I actually really want to know if this is the thing, because that would be some evil shit. That'd be some evil shit. You know what else is evil shit? I'm sorry. I'm a little bit sick today, but we're getting through it, folks. We're getting through it. GTA players made a mod that brought the submarine from Ocean Gate tragedy into the game. People have no chill. They're evil. But you better believe people are downloading this. You better believe people are going to be experiencing this, right? I was on Facebook Marketplace last night. I'm not even kidding. Someone was selling the Ocean Gate craft. It's a fake selling. For 1.2 million. I'll read you what it said, actually. I've got it right here. I literally saw this last night. Where is it? I couldn't believe it. I was like, is this person having a laugh? Oh, it's not opening up now. Great. Anyway, it said something along the lines of, due to unforeseen circumstances, need to sell, can't use it anymore, in great condition, never had a problem. I was like, come on, man. Come on, folks. That's just evil. In other news, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Apparently, if you're in multiple different cinemas, you're experiencing it in different ways. So in one cinema, you might see one scene, and in another cinema, you may see a different scene. That's a really cool idea. What I'd love to see is more movies do that, where you go and see a movie, and it maybe has two different endings. Has movies ever done that in cinemas? And you see it, and one cinema has this certain ending, and then the other cinema has like another ending. And like you talk to your mate later, and you're like, I can't believe that girl died. And then the other person's like, what do you mean? She lived. She killed the guy. And you're like, no, I saw the movie. And they're like, well, I saw the movie too. That would be great. Please let me know if we've actually seen that before. Because I actually don't know if we have. I saw this and I thought this was worth commenting on. At first, I thought this was a joke. It turns out it was. Someone gave VGS gave Redfall a 4 out of 10. And then VGS also gave Final Fantasy 16 a 4 out of 5, sorry. Here's the thing, right? If VGS likes Redfall, I don't get it, but they're entitled to give something a similar rating. They're entitled. But it does hurt credibility a little bit. It does hurt credibility a little bit. Now, there was some people, like Shillup, that didn't overly love Final Fantasy 16, right? That had its problems, but, you know, I think all in all, it's been generally received very well. Some people are just diehard fans, and then some people have been open to see the criticisms, right? So this is just interesting, you know. Journalists, I think, have almost like harder than a YouTuber in terms of there's usually like this there's like this disdain for game journos. Do you know what I'm saying in the community? So when they come out with stuff like this, you can expect people to jump on it, which people did. Now, this is sad. Okay, The Flash is doing a 2-for-1 deal. They're doing a 2-for-1 deal. If you go see The Flash or if you go see No Hard Feelings, you also get... Where did I see this? Oh, I've lost it now. But I did see that they're doing a 2-for-1. And if you go and see... what's it called? The Flash, or if you go and see No Hard Feelings, you get a free movie to see the other one. Oh, God. That's just sad. Oh, there it is. Sorry. There it is. Sorry. Right there. I was looking in here. I was like, where is it? It's right there. Buy one, get one free. That's right. You know, so... Man, that's, yeah. That's when you know a movie's going well. When you have to do a twofer. All right, 2-for-1. That's when it's big. I think The Dark Knight needed to do a 2-for-1. If I remember correctly. Yeah. Return of the Jedi needed to do a 2-for-1. Yeah. Avatar, first one, 2-for-1. Mm-hmm. It just wasn't doing well. Also, Endgame, same thing. And on the news, I was trying to play Diablo the other day. I was getting DDoS attacked. It was a freaking pain in the ass. All right, it was a real pain in the ass. Now it's even yesterday, I still saw messages saying we're currently experiencing DDoS attacks. So if you guys are replaying now. Also, we do have I know I've mentioned this a few times. We've got about 32 or 33 members now in our clan. In our Diablo clan. To make sure, I mean, in our Diablo clan, okay, that's what I mean. I'm like, come join the clan, folks. It's called PTY space LTD. Love to see you there, all right, if you want to be there. In other news, this is important because it's important to put in the show because you need to see it. Hello, what the hell is that? I thought this was AI generated. I don't think it is. Like how? They must be laying down. I don't get it. Unless the wheels are inside. I don't understand it. It's madness. I don't get it. But it's important to show you guys because you need to see it. Xbox Phil Spencer has confirmed that the Elder Scrolls 6 is still 5+ years away. Man, I knew this. Now, it also hasn't, in another article that I read, Phil Spencer has not firmly said that it's going to be an exclusive. So we're not sure if it is going to be an exclusive or not. But I'd be very surprised if that was not an exclusive. Now, he did allude to that previously several months ago. I remember reading an article about that, that Elder Scrolls might be, and then recently he's kind of said, no, well, we haven't made definitive plans on that yet, you know. Yeah, so guys, this is like 400 years away. We're all going to be like 70 years old. Well, if this comes out in 40 years, I'll be like 70, 73. So I'll be excited though. I mean, we'll see 7 or 8 Skyrim, you know, remakes on different consoles before then. You better believe it. So I'm excited just to see how many Skyrims we see before this comes out. It's going to be at least 3 or 4. I'm not even kidding. We're going to see 3 or 4 Skyrims. We're going to see Skyrim probably on the new Switch. We're going to see Skyrim on a fridge. We're going to see Skyrim on something else, right? It's going to be everywhere. In other news, the directors of God of War are strongly oh, wait, no. Okay, this has been fact-checked now. Okay. Okay, no. When I first looked at this, there was no fact-check. Okay, so he has never heard anything about this. All right, well, there we go. This is live, and you get to see live that I was wrong. Fantastic. But I read this originally that Kratos was potentially being looked at. The Rock was being potentially looked at for Kratos. I don't see it. I mean, like, yes, you see it, but, like, not really. You need more, like, Dave Baptiste or, like, something like that. I think that would be... He's more like a Shakespearean actor with the muscles. Like, he's more of an actor than an action star, you know? And I think that Kratos would need to have that depth, that kind of... those acting... I'm not saying that The Rock isn't a good actor, but, like, you know, you don't need a movie star for Kratos. You need something more grounded in, like, emotional acting, where The Rock is more just an action star, right? Just an action star. You know what I'm trying to say. Now, this is interesting because Bethesda originally said that there was, in a post, Bethesda came out and was like, guys, all the physical editions that you're getting, it's just getting a code. And then they came out and said, you know what? Oops. No, there is going to be a disc, especially for the standard base edition, right? So, okay. But you know what? I really think that in the future, physical editions are going to become less and less of a thing. As games become bigger and bigger, CDs cannot handle it. How many CDs do you guys buy, which you've probably seen, and, you know, you still need to do a 50 gig update or something, which is just the rest of the game being downloaded from, you know, the internet. Like, the internet is like a utility. Like, you need it now, you know? So in like 5 years' time, if cloud isn't where it's at, where everyone's just playing on the cloud anyway, and people are still buying physical games, I'll be very surprised to see that physical games in the future can actually handle how big these spaces are going to be. In other news, Oppenheimer and Barbie. Who's excited for that shit? I'm absolutely excited for that. And this is some of the stuff they've been doing. They've got an Xbox Barbie. They did an entire pink house for it. They did a Forza Barbie. They did an entire Barbie-themed hotel where the cast was interviewed. They did some Barbie shoes. They did some Barbie cups for the movies, I guess. They did some Barbie, like, you know, ice cream. A candle for Barbie. And this is the best. Look at this. This is some of the best marketing I've seen in a long time. You don't need to know anything else apart from the color and the font. Even the font, even take that away, I still know what that's probably trying to say to me. That is really good shit. I thought that was great. I'm away in Europe when Oppenheimer and Barbie comes out in the same day, and you better believe it, I'm seeing both of those. I'm excited to see Barbie. I'm super excited to see Oppenheimer. I mean, Oppenheimer is going to be fantastic. It's Christopher Nolan. It's always great. Are we going to understand it like Tenet? Probably not, but that's okay. I'm going to jump in anyway. Now, guys, we're going to be doing the quiz game. This is the last quiz game we're probably going to be doing before I go to Europe. I may do another show. This is just like a middle to let you know, guys. As I said at the front, I'm going to Europe soon, so I may do one more show before I go. But I've got a few other things I got to do and whatever, right? So this may be the last show before I go to Europe. No, goddamn buttons. This is just a small one, letting you guys know you can expect Nintendo to kind of port over their ecosystem and port over their this is another fact check. God damn it. I got another fact check. This is yesterday I saw this. God damn it. Okay. Well, now there's been no confirmation, but what I saw a lot on Twitter and quite a few outlets covering this, that we are expected to have the same accounts and the same kind of portability over to the next console, which makes sense because the previous ones you couldn't do that, right? So if you went from the Wii U to the Switch, it was a brand new ecosystem. Where with this, it seems like they're going to continue that over the same accounts and the same portability, which totally makes sense and absolutely what people want. And lastly, before we start the quiz, there's going to be an animated TV show for Last of Us. Now, I've seen a lot of Last of Us content on the internet, let me tell you, okay? A lot of animated stuff people have made from The Last of Us. I'm just going to be honest here, okay? Super chat. I appreciate your super chat. Oh, Alicia Cook, enjoy a gelato on your trip. Going to miss our boy and our daily vids. I appreciate that, Alicia. Thank you so much. Love you. Appreciate you. What else? Xbox says games doing better in the US. Okay, now this is a bad headline. Kotaku did Xbox dirty there. Oh no, they did PlayStation dirty there. PlayStation's boss says Xbox games do better in the US due to shooting multiplayer. And that's not. Okay, so if you read this, it's more about that. I think what he's trying to say is that the US likes competitive shooters more. That's what he's trying to say. But this headline's a bit evil. Okay, it's a little bit evil. And last but not least, guys, it's not about video games always. Sometimes it's about learning about the stars. Now, they've recently found a black hole that is 30 billion times the size of the sun. It's not the biggest, though. Okay, the biggest is called TON 618. TON 618. It's 66 or something, 66 billion times the size of the sun, right? There are bigger black holes out there. But this is new, this is exciting, and I have a general interest in space. And I think, you know what, you guys probably too. So it's important to bring it in. It's important to bring it in. All right, so who's ready for the quiz? Okay, you haven't played the quiz before. 10 questions, right? 10 questions. I got 1 right last time and 12 wrong last time. Okay, so guys, I know we did more than 10 last time. Write down your answers. Let me know how you go, and let's do the quiz together. Okay, let me get my get a little pencil. Okay, who's ready for this? All right. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. It is Breath of the Wild. Fuck yeah. First one right. All wrong from here. Okay. 1 right. Feeling good. Feeling good. Oh no. I feel like I know this from like 64 or something. Oh no. Okay, no. Wrong. Wrong. All right, 1 wrong, 1 right. We can win this. Bayonetta? I don't know. No. I heard the double trigger. I'm like, come on, that might be it. Oh man. Okay. Nah. 2 wrong, 1 right. Fucking hell. Oh, okay. Yep. Bioshock also. Like, absolutely. Bioshock Infinite or Bioshock 1 and 2. I got no idea. This is a solid no. This is definitely Kratos. This is God of War. Nah. Copy Strike 2. Yeah, it's going to be Copy Strike 2. That's exactly right. Oh my god, I know this song. Oh my god. Is this Mario? Mario or something? I feel like I played this game recently. No, I didn't. No, I solidly didn't play this game recently. Why do I feel like I knew that? Wow, okay. Damn. My god, man, this is hard shit. Nah, this is gonna be a bad one. 2 right, 5 wrong. Remember the first 20? Easy. These ones? Not so much. Not so much. No, I was going to say maybe that's a Souls boss. It's not. It's too bright. Yeah, that does feel God of War. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. God damn it. I got no idea. God damn it. Now I get Bayonetta. Wow. 7 wrong, 2 right. Good. This is going good. You're good. God damn it, man. 8 wrong, 2 right. Fucking hell. Ah, yeah, okay. Oh. Wow. This isn't F-Zero, is it? No. I feel like it's not F-Zero. I'm going to say F-Zero, like... What is that even? What is that? I don't know what that is. That's 9 wrong, 2 right. Okay, we're just going to continue a little bit more. Yeah, I need to give my game license back, Andres. I know this song. Is this something like Kirby or something? Oh my god, so bad. No, this is a meme song. Kirby, no. 10 wrong, 2 right. 1 more to finish off. 1 wrong, 1 more to finish off. To solidify how wrong I've been. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, woo! We got one! It's Yoshi. It's Yoshi. Yes! Come here, it's Yoshi. Holy shit, I thought that was Yoshi. Holy shit, I'm wrong. Okay, that is... Fuck. Did you think that was Yoshi? I heard that... One more. Yeah, cool. 12 wrong, 2 right. Great. Okay. That was great. I thought it was Yoshi Island too. Yeah, but Mark. Hollow Knight. I fucking finished that too. Not too recently. God damn it. Damn it. Okay, 1 more. Fuck, I love this game. 1 more. No. Okay, 13 wrong, 2 right. Okay, that is the last one. Oh, damn it. No idea. Mega Man. Yeah. Alright, guys. How'd you go? I did horrendously today. So, guys, this may be the last show until I go away. If there's something that's massive that I want to cover, even if I just want to jump on here and have a quick chat with you, I will. But I really wanted to thank everyone for watching the show the last couple of months. I really appreciate that. It's been a really fantastic journey. And after Europe, we will chat more. But I truly, really do appreciate all the super chats, all the, subscribers, all the memberships, all the people that watched, all the people that engaged, all the people that were just, enjoying the show with me. I really appreciate that. It's been a really fantastic journey, guys. I will chat with you, I'm sure, when I'm away in Europe, and we'll chat again when I'm back. But it may be like 5 or 6 weeks until I'm back. That's the thing. So again, I really wanted to say before I finish that I really appreciate everyone. You guys have been a fantastic audience, and I will see you guys next time. Laymen out.